Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are delighted to have you here for an important conversation that is relevant to every student, regardless of their age, their interest, or aspirations.
That's right. Today we are here to discuss something that might sound like a simple six-letter word, but to many of us it is something really tough to face: career.
Career. Choosing career is not just about selecting a profession, it's about knowing our interests, knowing our strength, and shaping our future.
And to help us navigate through this exciting journey, today we are joined by Dr. Saptarshi Chatterjee. He is an academician and a mentor with great experience in higher education and career paths.
I, Adrita Bose, along with my co-host,
Sangram.
together we will be exploring with some important questions regarding future and career.
So, without any further ado, let's begin with our first question.
Sir, one of the biggest dilemmas of every student is choosing their right stream and their career path. Sir, how can students identify their right choice of careers?
Okay. So, a very simple answer, if I want to provide in this topic, is that where you don't feel bored to work in the domain or to learn that domain for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, or 5 hours, that means without looking at the watch, if you are passionate in learning something or doing something on your own, then that is the stream you should select your career. Because then what happens? You are not only going to a profession, you are making your passion your profession. So that would be the best way to decide on which topic, which course, which program, or which domain to work on or study in the days ahead.
That was a really insightful answer. So, as someone who has personally experienced and seen the transition in academic and career pathways, what would your personal opinion be about this evolution that has occurred? Because it's quite different from what it has been.
Education has evolved immensely over the years. If you see, when we were students, the purpose of education, or so-called the formal education that people used to get from school, college, or university, the purpose was purely knowledge. Then came a time when knowledge was not enough. People were asked to be skillful, and then knowledge and skill together defined education. But today, whenever you open the media, whenever if you see even elite institutes, a lot of students are unemployable. A lot of people are unemployed. Then what has happened? Perhaps something has gone wrong with the knowledge and skill. Today, knowledge and skill is not enough, to be very honest. Today, you need to know the art of problem solving. So, once when people came to school, college, or university to gather knowledge or skill, today it is what you do with the knowledge and skill in order to make yourself employable. What are the problems that you can solve using the knowledge and skill? It is not what you have, but what you can do with all that you have acquired during your school, college, or university days. That's the major transition of academic or education system that is happening, and it is happening in a very, very lightning fast mode, so that you have to cope it in a very fast way.
Really an encouraging reply, sir. Sir, nowadays, students, almost all the students are very attracted towards JEE and NEET like rat race. Sir, what is your opinion on this, and is it really good for the students to do?
See, once upon a time there was a casteism. But unfortunately, even in academics, there is a academic casteism which does not exist today. So be it science, arts, or commerce, science is better than arts, or commerce is better than arts or science. This concept is absolutely gone. So today we are in a world where every individual needs to know the science or technology. They need to be equipped with communication or arts, and they also need to know the commercial aspect of it. So every individual requires science and arts and commerce in their own life. More importantly, what the world used to consider, or the society used to consider, there are 2 options or 3 options for a school student in class 12. That is, either you are a doctor, or you become an engineer, or you become a failure. So the third option, failure, is actually a success in today's world. Even if you are unsuccessful in the eyes of the society, that you could not crack JEE, you are not into an IIT, you could not crack NEET, you are not a doctor, but there are ample scope for you to be successful in life by contributing meaningfully to the society. I can give example of becoming a pilot, I can give example of becoming a researcher, I can even give example of becoming a great designer or a fashion designer. So whichever domain you work on, there is ample scope of becoming successful. There is ample scope that you learn something new, you contribute meaningfully to the society and earn honest money in the form of wage or becoming an entrepreneur. So I think there is no scope saying today that you are confined to becoming a doctor or engineer. There are a lot of things beyond that, and students should be guided, they should be mentored by teachers so that they are open to these new domains which are existing, and there are a lot of scope beyond this.
So as you mentioned, the issue of casteism in our academic journeys, it is nowadays often seen that parents are not aware of the sheer number of career options that are available in, realistically speaking, streams of humanities and commerce. Everyone just runs behind science. How do you think that parents should be made aware of these career paths that are available and are helping to encourage their students?
See, unfortunately, till now, in this part of the country, of the world, a course or what a student is going to study, it is not decided by the student, or it is not based on the inclination of the student. Rather, it is either an aspiration of the parent or some information from the society which makes a student study a course or a program in the days ahead. So there are a lot of scopes beyond NEET or JEE, but how do we understand them? One of the major thing is that once in our generation or our previous generation, any skill that a person would have acquired, they could have easily make a livelihood out of that skill. So people once was knowledgeable, they became teacher, and for the next 30 years they remained as a teacher. We are from a generation where we understood conventional teaching or learning process, but we are also getting equipped with AI because technology is fast changing. They have to understand that the next generation we are catering to, or the next generation we are talking about, the technology, the landscape is going to change in every 5 years. So it is immaterial to say that this program or this course or this university is good to study this subject and you will make a career in this. Rather, we have to train our students to become lifelong learners. So whatever course they study, whatever program they enroll themselves, they have to keep on evolving. They should know the art of studying rather than studying the content, because in the next 5 years, all the content that you have studied is going to be obsolete. So these things has to be percolated even to the parents, to the teachers, and to the larger society, so that there is no societal pressure on what you study. Rather, it is your inclination, your passion that you can follow.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, as you have mentioned about technology, AI is really getting a fast role in the society. So, sir, students are ignoring the core subjects and moving towards AI. What is the future for this, sir?
See, core subjects are important, but I need to understand that in the era of AI, if a student doesn't go to a library and get the same information from the AI, shall I oppose? The answer is no. Because when we were researchers, I still remember very senior professors used to say that you are getting everything in the click of mouse by using something called Google, while we struggled a couple of days in the National Library to find a manuscript. But didn't we use Google? Yes. So we were using technology in a better way than our preceders did. So if the current generation is using AI, they have to understand AI is not just a subject, it is also an enabling tool. So whatever you want to learn from AI, you can do it. You can use AI as a tool so that a website can be built in minutes. You can use AI in being creative, but that should not stop you from learning. Definitely, with the evolution of AI also, someday it would be simple as a calculator. No one stops us from using a calculator while you do a sums or solve a sums in chemistry or physics. In a similar way, no one will solve you to use or stop you to use an AI, because that will become an enabler. But what is important, that what you are doing with AI, and do not meddle with AI saying that it is your creativity. So it is very important that we use ethical way, we use ethical means in using AI, and not just do something with AI, complete our assignment with AI and say it's done by me. So if we are ethically correct and use it in the correct sense, AI is a great enabler which is not only to be used, but it will compulsorily be used irrespective of all the domains.
So, while we are on the topic of AI, I would like to ask a question about what is quite innovative and might be considered a dark question, that AI will take our jobs, and how AI is evolving to even do creative things. It might not only take over the mechanical and technical jobs, but also the creative ones, like being an author or being a designer. What do you think is the future for this?
See, AI, is it going to take away jobs? The answer is yes. But what jobs? For a job where you would require a person to be involved 24 hours, that will be taken up. But can AI create something called a mind? As of now, no. Maybe in future it will come, but till now AI is limited to whatever is existing. It may have the capacity to extrapolate, but the tune of a music, the romanticism of a poetry, the new technology that will be required, which is human-centric, can AI create that? As of now, no. So, human will always have relevance. Your human intelligence will always have their importance over artificial intelligence. Whatever be the reason, we have to understand AI is created by human. So, in the next few decades, though this will remain as a very valid question, that whether human intelligence or AI will supersede human intelligence, my answer would be in a both way. AI will help us to do things which are routine. AI will help us to do a lot more complex things in an easier way. But again, human intelligence will remain because it's a naturally evolved. So we cannot meddle with nature. It will survive.
Thank you. So that was a truly comforting and reassuring answer.
Sir, as there was a topic of human intelligence, today teenagers are very much interested about entrepreneurship and startups. Sir, what are the skills that we should develop, and how a person would realize that they have the skill to start a business like that? Please answer.
Okay, so most of the preceders of the current generation do not know the difference between a business and entrepreneurship. So as I already said a lot of times, that entrepreneurship is not buying things at 4 rupees, selling it at 6 and getting a profit of 2 rupees. Rather, entrepreneurship is something where you are solving an existing problem for which the customer pays you. So as long as problem will exist in the world, I hope that will never end, entrepreneurship will exist. So you need to be prepared to become an entrepreneur. Every student of today need to become entrepreneurial in nature, even if they do not create a startup or become a founder. Because even if you are doing a job, you need to increase the profitability of your organization. You need to take care of your team. So we classically are sometimes risk averse, so we do not want to take the risk of becoming an entrepreneur and consider job as a safe way of income. But in today's scenario or in the days ahead, job will no longer be a safe or risk-free venture, because with the increase in complexity of the jobs, as times will flow away, what will happen? Job will be more scarce. It will be risky, because if you cannot upgrade yourself with technology, if you cannot cope up, if you cannot give profitability to the organization, just because you have some capacity, you will not be able to have your job. Therefore, every student from the school level needs to start being groomed on entrepreneurial venture, even though they do not create a business.
Thank you, sir, for that enlightening conversation. We are truly thankful to you. We hope to see you again here at GD Goenka Public School, Habra.
Thank you very much for this opportunity.